An ardent advocate of technology, our Executive Director, Shri Manan Choksi, has been the driving force in bringing up the level of IT in school. He has inspired each one of us by his innovative methods and implementation of newer techniques in the field of education. I now request him kindly to come on stage and share his ideas with us.
Welcome, good afternoon. Hope you had a great lunch. Great. We are, since last year, we have improved the menu also for those who came for the first time. This is like the 6th annual teacher conference, and this is one of the best till now. The future is not what it used to be. This is the title of my presentation because I couldn't find anything more relevant. I'll tell you, for those who are new in education, also for those who are old, since last 1 year, what changes we have seen in education are unprecedented. We have not seen so much change across the lines. So the education sector as such is in focus. It is in focus as for a lot of things. CBSE is changing its norms. Suddenly they stopped, they stopped this private book. They had this NCERT. Now they are forcing schools to use only NCERT textbooks. Board exam is made compulsory suddenly. And plethora of notification. In history of CBSE, the number of notifications which were issued in last 1 year were not issued total in last 3 years combined, previous 3 years. Marking system, moderation, you saw all that in paper, that is changed. Re-evaluation is scrapped. Mandatory disclosure form was introduced. 6 subjects in class 9th and 10th. This is all what it used to be. It is so very different. CBSE is getting more, so these are new norms, new things. As far as they had old norms, they are getting it more vigilant to implement those norms. So, for example, we have not heard that school, once it gets a CBSE affiliation, people assume that it is forever. But it is not true. If you miss out on several criteria, your affiliation is revoked. This has happened to a lot of schools across India. They have issued show cause notice. Now this is interesting fact. For so many years we have never heard of show cause notice given by CBSE, and suddenly they have on website, you can search on Google, you will find I could find when I searched a month ago, there were 18 show cause notices. In that, they used to even go to the computer lab and check how many computers were working. So they go to that depth of, evaluating a school. Surprise notices. So actually what I was writing is surprise inspection. They form a committee. So if a parent complains that teachers don't come to class on time, teachers are absent frequently for our schools, CBSE forms a surprise inspection committee. They go there and check how many teachers are present. Now this is also very new. Various actions on complaints by parents and students. So recently one of a student complained that a teacher dictated an answer in our board exam. And we got a letter that why did you dictate an answer? Now, you know how students are. Not all of their complaints are right. So, but imagine that even a smallest complaint, they are sending us a written notice to explain. Now this is very scary for schools because we have to be very careful. We cannot just ignore any smallest of the problems. Where CBSE was not enough, we have Gujarat board who is getting active. Suddenly Gujarat board has started also changing its strategy. So they had semester system, they scrapped it, they had they put NCERT textbook, they are getting all, what I would say, active. So, we claim, two sections today presented their fabulous board results, and we claim that board result is the best thing that Udgam school provides, and we are focused on academics and all sort of things. But unfortunately, with entrance test, board results are not useful. Okay? So, to give you a parallel, if we say that we make phones, mobile phones, which last 25 years. But unfortunately, nobody wants to use the same phone for 25 years. Okay? So then comes Chinese, they say we make phones which are half the price and they last only for 3 years. And everybody says, yeah, anyways 3 years technology changes, so why should I invest in a costly phone which lasts for 25 years? So we are providing something what people don't want. And another double whammy for school. So on one side, the whole question of school existence arises. On another side, the students don't have time for school. Like few parents came to meet me during lunch hour that reduced time. We want to study home. I understand that. And so on one hand, our whatever mark sheet we are giving is useless. On another hand, they don't want to come to school also. So what to do? You know, this is not a question to us. This is a question to whole fraternity of CBSE schools across the country. In fact, it is a question to all schools irrespective of the board. That if there is an entrance test which decides the admission, why should student come to school? Okay? So education, the future is not what it used to be. Future was very simple. When I used to study, get good marks, get admission, and study in college, life is safe. Simple. Now, you study in school, you study in class, you give exam, you give 4 exams, and if you get good admission, and you pray that Supreme Court doesn't cancel your admission, then it is safe. This is the Then we have this, what we call it, cat amongst the pigeons. Then we have this Fee Regulation Act. Now, Fee Regulation Act says that we are charging a lot of fees to parents and we have to justify. So right now we don't know, any school has not passed through that process of justification. We don't know what is going to happen. An independent committee to decide fee structure, a lot of speculation, but nothing's final as yet. You all must be reading. I am sure your near and dear ones must be asking you, so what will your school do? Fees will get reduced. You will have to charge only 15,000 rupees. Is your job secure? Did the bank ask you, will you pay your loan? Because anytime, anything can happen. So this is a very uncertain time for us, for the running the school. Now, again, this is not to Udgam specific or Zebar specific, it is to the entire education sector. Very complex regulation and implementation because there is a lot of subjectivity involved. There may be different fees for different schools, and it's little bit complex. And there is no precedent. No state has been able to do it successfully. The only comparison is with college fee regulation committee. Okay? Now that is in colleges, it has been since long. So we are trying to draw a parallel that what if they have the same philosophy here. Media. Okay, those who have been reading newspapers and print media, this is some of the things that I have noticed. Everyday media carries something regarding schools. Every single day. Not a day passes by when nobody has anything to say for the school. So this is something which is very weird. I have been in this field since 12 years. I have been reading newspapers, and there are days when what we call is a slow news day. since last 1 year, I am missing that day, at least. I remember since last 1 year, oh my God. And 10% is positive, 90% is negative. I am not saying media is all bad. Sometimes we do get our part of the glory where good schools give good results and everything is very good. But 90% is negative. So if you look at the whole perspective, people outside this hall are thinking that we are fleecing parents. This is the grim reality. Let me, I don't like to beat around the bush. I want to tell everything, up front. And the fact of the matter is that people think that we are cheating parents. I don't know how we are cheating parents. I'm yet to understand that they have taken an admission knowing our fee structure. We have increased the fee according to government rules. Where did the cheating creep into? But they calculate. They know one thing, that if your fees is 50,000, if you have 5,000 students, your turnover is 25 crores. What do you are doing with that much money? We do parties and have excellent lunch, right? Yeah. So this is the unfortunate reality. Lot of generalization is done. Whether it is a good school or a bad school, all schools are chore. This is generalization. બધા ચોર છે. બધા ટીચરો કોઈ ભણાવતા નથી. છોકરાઓ તો જાતે જ બધા બ્રાઇટ હોય છે, બોર્ન જ બ્રાઇટ હોય છે. Seriously, they think that, our genes and our upbringing and our last janam's karma have got this board ranker. Not teaching. It's a sad story. Yeah. So everything. If you go talk to a ranker, you talk to any ranker of board ranker and ask him how much percentage this school help you. He will say 20%. 20% directly related to school. And I say, Acha, how much tuition classes? Say another 20-25%. So where did remaining 50% come from? Due to my hard work. Now we understand that. Then why are you asking? Just put that perspective. That person was begging 5 years ago for admission in Udgam school. Now why was he begging? If everything was that. Even today, while government is saying that we want fee regulation, I get phone calls that I want admission in Udgam school, I'm prepared to pay anything you want. So why are they paying? If we are really a bunch of cheaters and we don't do anything, then what's the reason? Public feeling is negative towards school even though they are happy with their child's progress. So this is this mob mentality. If you ask them individually, are you happy with your child's progress? They say, yes, the child has learned a lot of good things in the school. Okay. But fees? वो तो बहुत है. इन्हों कहीं करो ना. So I don't understand this. It's so funny. We said that, अच्छा, so what do you, what is the major problem with Udgam school or any school general? Just fees is high, everything else is good. This is, okay, so let us understand this fact. We are not, I'm not saying they are wrong. I'm not saying we are right. What I'm saying is, this is what is happening in the world. Not willing to print stories which are in favor of the schools. So the media, I have talked to a lot of journalists and they say that why this has happened. I said this is the reason why it has happened. So they said, oh, but this story is favoring school. I can only print if it is favoring the parents. Fact. Okay? So don't trust everything what you see in the media. They have a, what we call is a different motive. They have a hidden agenda to please the readers. Okay? So this is what is media. And then we have parents' expectation. Board results are not the top priority. Okay. What were they expecting earlier was good marks. Now they are expecting a good, well-rounded personality. So this is totally different than what was told to us. When they gave us the child 12 years ago, they said that we want him to top board exam. We make him a topper. उसको music में तो कुछ आता ही नहीं है. So they are changing the goalpost when the game is on. They are changing the rules before the game has ended. They are not to blame. India is progressing at a rapid pace. It is okay. But then they have to understand that our mandate was different. Our textbooks are different. Our timetable is different. It is based on the fact that mandate was given to us earlier. 12 years ago, we were given this syllabus has to be completed this year, and they have to sit in board exam and they have to pass. We are doing that. And what do we get in return? School wala to? I know. And you know what? They tell me school education mafia. This is so funny. It is so hilarious. Mafia are those people who break some law. You know, unfortunately, what we have had is we were following the law and still we are treated as the outlaws. So yesterday there was this procession where they said that income tax, enforcement directorate and everybody should raid the school owners. And you know, we have a group of school owners. I have this association of progressive schools. We were discussing that are they serious? Like, what are they talking about? All those people, students are studying in our school. You know, they are facing it. I don't like people talking behind my back. So now we had good handwriting was a mandate, but suddenly good English, spoken English is the mandate. Suddenly. Okay? So good handwriting was a mandate many years ago. Then came evolution of computer, and then there was this typewriting as a mandate. And earlier, when I used to be in 10th standard, there were 4 fingers were used for typewriting. Today, you know how many fingers are used? None. They are using thumbs. Okay? So they are also changing the rules there. Now handwriting is no more in fashion. What is in fashion is how you can speak well. So we have been seeing the parent feedback, what we have been seeing. Information to knowledge. So I remember at my time there was a GK quiz and people had to mug up all the trivial facts of information, and the people used to win that quiz and medal was given. Now GK is not anymore because Google is around. You know, no need to memorize trivial facts. Knowledge is more important. But again, unfortunately, there is no measurement of knowledge. See, information is very easy to measure. Either you know or you don't know. Knowledge, you can work it around. It is very difficult to pinpoint whether this child has a knowledge or not. However, there is one saying which can help us. Tough times don't last, tough people do. Okay? So all these challenges which we are facing, they are staring on our face with again the old challenges of children not paying attention, children not understanding difficult concepts. Those are still there. And we have this challenge, and we have to go start an academic year as we